Okay, okay, I will start right now as an acting surgeon and arms because our SAA is not feeling well today. So I will represent her. So for housekeeping rules, if you are GTC or Bhinneka, maybe you could write your name, GTC members, and then your name, or Bhinneka members, then your name. If you are visiting Toastmaster members, please rename VTM in front of the name. And also, we encourage you to turn on your camera so that we can see your beautiful and handsome face, of course. And you may use the chat function Zoom to ask questions. And please remain silent during speeches unless you call upon. And for the guests or non-members, please rename yourself guest, then your name. I think that's for our housekeeping hosts. I would like to give the consult to our Madam President, Toastmaster Elisa. Toastmaster Elisa, please.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. VPE and Acting SAA. And I would like to say welcome to all and every one of you, to all JTC members, to all Bhinneka members, to all visiting Toastmasters, and also our distinguished guests. Welcome to the very first Jakarta and Bhinneka Online Toastmasters meeting. Welcome and good morning. You're probably wondering why I say good morning instead of good evening. And for DTM Malaysia, I'm saying selamat pagi instead of selamat petang. And that's because you want to keep up the good spirit of a good morning so that we can enjoy the whole meeting from the very beginning to the very end. So I see a lot of familiar faces, but for the benefit of guests, please allow me to introduce you to Toastmasters. So for the benefit of guests, Toastmasters is basically a non-profit educational organization in which we are focused on communication, public speaking, and leadership. We have more than 15,000 clubs all over the globe. And one of them is located here in Jakarta, Jakarta Toastmasters Club, and also based in Bali, Bhinneka Online. And we provide a very safe and fun environment for you to try out, public speaking skills. And especially for today, we are going to have a very special edu session, which will later on be led by our none other than our edu speaker, DTM Natalie. And today we are focusing on how you can deliver a good evaluation speech that you can try on your basic evaluation speech when you're evaluating your fellow Toastmaster members, but also you might want to pay attention so that you can also learn how to deliver a good evaluation speech for your preparation for our upcoming contest. So without further ado, I would like to start this meeting, and I'm going to hand over the control to our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Erlin. Toastmaster Erlin, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, President Elsa. Okay, I'm from GTC also, and I will be your Tom today. So I will be leading this session today. And as Elsa has said, that today most important mission for us is to learn as much as possible and prepare ourselves for the upcoming competition. I don't know much about it. If I can say, I don't know anything at all about the competition, but I'm very excited to participate in the competition. So while I'm being a Tom, I will also learn about about the speech competition in this session. So that is the goal. And uh, next will be there will be explanation of word of the day. Risky?
Yes, the word of the day is supportive. So for two speakers and evaluators, please use the word of the day, supportive as many as you can. So
Okay.
please, Arlene, the Toastmaster Arlene, continue.
Okay, so that is the word of the day, and then we have team that have been giving themselves as tribute. Yeah. Okay. The timer will be Toastmaster Ben. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ben from Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club. Are we introducing our roles, right? Already? Good. Let me get my. So, with the timer, you'll see this little background, and then green light, yellow light, red light. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. For the next, we will be getting to know more deeply about our speaker. She's based in Bali, Indonesia. Natahali Chayadi is a business manager and public speaker. She has managed her family clothing manufacturing business for more than 10 years while pursuing public speaking engagement on the side. Toastmaster has helped her communicate and connect more effectively by providing opportunities to practice in a supportive environment. Natalie is District 87 champion, in multiple speech contests, and her favorite part of a Toastmaster meeting is the speech evaluation because better evaluator foster better speaker. Oh, that's really cool. We'll be learning from the best of the best. So, Natalie, the place is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Earlane. And hello, everyone from Jakarta Toastmasters Club, from Bhinneka-Jakarta Toastmasters Club, and all other visiting Toastmasters as well as guests. Lovely to see you all this evening, even though, like Elisa said, selamat pagi, especially to our fellow Toastmasters Alicia from Australia. So today's theme is something that I'm very passionate about because speech evaluation is actually my favorite part of Toastmasters ever since I joined Toastmasters like 12 years ago. Today we have a special title, Speak to Win, proposed together by this collaboration. So if you've been attending my speech evaluation workshop, today I will share a little bit of tips and tricks about the contest at the very last of my presentation. So let's go straight to it. If you haven't known me, this is my name, my credibilities, and also you can connect with me in Instagram and YouTube. I put my email account there as well as LinkedIn. So just let me know you want to connect. In the next 30-ish minutes, I will cover several things. But before that, let me ask you one question. What are some challenges you experience when evaluating speeches? You can type your answer in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
Too little time. Only 3 minutes.
Okay, cool. Too little time, too much to talk about. Thank you, Risky. Let me check the chat. Trying not to sound rude and patronizing. Yeah, I know, Elisa. It's when you wanted to give constructive criticism, sometimes we come back to that sound, right? Like the sound of our bosses giving feedback to us at work. Anyone else want to unmute or share in the chat? I'll take one more. When there's nothing to change. Oh, great answer, Esther. What happened when the speaker is so good you don't really know what to recommend? Okay, we will talk a little bit about it. What are some things that we can pay attention to when we're evaluating? And then from Rendra, where to go? The content or the way to deliver? Okay, Rendra, we're going to go both ways and we'll cover that in the second part of this presentation. The level of the speaker is above us. Thank you, ET. Similar to what Esther has said, right? And then from Mateus, to actually tell the content that everyone understand. Gotcha. Because sometimes when you're giving evaluation, probably the speaker doesn't really understand it. Great. Thank you so much for all your answer and participation. So that's what we're trying to cover tonight in the next 30-minute-ish. I'm going to start with the mindset when we're evaluating what kind of mindset should we put on, because I believe everything in life starts from the mind. So when you set your mind into it, then you know you can achieve it. The second one is the mechanics, all the things that you have asked before. What if the speaker is above us? There's nothing to change. I don't really know what to say. How to not sound too patronizing. So we're going to cover that in the mechanics. And the third part is the contest tips. Since the title of this workshop is Speak to Win, so I'm going to share a little bit about what to look for in Toastmasters evaluation contest, starting from the judges sheet and going to my personal tips. After that, we're going to follow it with question and answer session, and definitely the practice session, the highlight of today. So let's jump into it. The first one is the mindset. Evaluation is, actually, I got this from my good friend, Alicia Curtis, who's here with me today. Evaluation is a gift from the evaluator to the speaker. Sometimes we think that when we're evaluating, we're just giving them feedback. We're just giving them improvement, things that they can apply so that they can grow. But if you think about evaluation as a gift, it will help you change the way you speak, and it will help you change the way you see things. For example, if I want to give Ben a gift, I would want to know what's best to give Ben. Maybe Ben needs a new shoes. I probably should buy him shoes for his birthday. And when I give it to Ben, I'll give it with a happy face, great intention, because I want him to be happy when he receives it. So when we have the same mindset, when we're giving evaluation, we can give it with the intention of really helping the speaker to grow, really helping the speaker to feel encouraged and inspired to do their next speech, then it is the gift. And it's the gift that keeps giving, because when you're helping the speaker to grow, it will also help you to improve your skill. When you give a speech, you need to prepare a script, you need to practice your delivery, you need to make sure the content is there, the message is there, etc., right? When you're doing evaluation, you're doing so many things at once. You're listening to what they're saying, you're trying to understand what they're trying to say, and then you're analyzing things that they've been performing. What are some things that you think is great? What are some things that they can improve on? And then at the end, you need to speak up and present your evaluation. So in my opinion, this is like harder than just delivering a speech, because there's so many other components and there's so many other processes that going on in one go. And not saying that preparing speech is not hard. No, I'm saying everything is hard. You need to put on a lot of work into it, but you can definitely do it when you practice. So when you evaluate, it's a gift from you to the speaker, and in turn, you will also improve your skill. I like to use this acronym. When I evaluate, I help you. I help the speaker improve. I encourage the speaker to do the next speech. I lift the speaker's self-esteem, and I provide useful recommendations. When we're remembering these four things, focusing on helping the speaker improve, probably in the normal club meeting settings, it will be we help the speaker by evaluating them based on project objectives, right? Because in Toastmasters, the pathways have been set up in such a way that it's one project is a building blocks for another project. So when you're helping them by giving them feedback based on their project objective, you're helping them build their own Lego, build their own capabilities one block at a time. You can also encourage them to do their next speech. And this is also something related with how can we say it in such a way that's not condescending, but also it can inspire them and motivating them. L is lift the speaker's self-esteem. Again, when we're giving evaluation, it's not about criticism. It's about providing useful recommendation and helping them identifying the strengths that they already have. And last, yes, useful recommendation. Now, let's get back to the basic and understand the difference between advice and feedback. I'll give you a moment to look at the screen. And then anyone wants to share which one do you think is advice and which one do you think is feedback and why? You can unmute yourself and then shout it out.
Feedback is I had trouble hearing you.
Yes, who's speaking? Sorry. Erlin.
Tom.
Erlin. Yes. Which one?
I had trouble hearing you would be a feedback.
Okay, great.
There is no solution to it.
There's no solution to it. That's why it's a feedback. Okay, thank you. I saw in the chat, E.T. and also Rizky shared similar answer. Would any one of you wants to explain the reason? Feel free to unmute.
Yes. Can I?
E.T., do you want to
Yes.
or me?
Sorry.
Oh,
You can go, Rizky.
Okay. So why I choose 3, 4, 5 is feedback because feedback is something that we observe after the performance. And 1 to 6 is like the follow up what it needs to be done in order to improve the performance. I think that's the mindset that I answer this. Thank you.
okay, thank you, Rizky. Would you have similar opinion or different opinion, E.T.?
For me, advice is with using you, and feedback is using I.
Okay, thank you, E.T. And I noticed someone else trying to say something. I heard a woman's voice. Would anyone wants to like unmute herself?
Actually, my answer is the same like E.T.
Oh, it's Amel. Okay. All right, Mel. Thank you. Okay, great. So let's see here. The red one is advice, and the green one is feedback. Why? I would like to commend ET and also Amel because they said in a very simplest way. Advice is when you're using the word you, and feedback is when you're using the word I. Or in in my in my terms, it's when you use the I language, like I saw, I noticed, I had trouble hearing you. You use an observation-based language because it's based on what happened on that time. I saw that you were averting your eyes from the audience. I noticed that your body swayed during your speech. I had trouble hearing you. So, I language is an observation-based language because you give observation by what you see, what you hear, and what you feel during the speech. And the advice is in red, start with you, because advice usually given to the person. Let's say, Rizky, you need to raise your volume. So it's risky. You need to raise your volume. Instead of that, imagine if I said, Rizky, I saw that your voice was very soft during the closing. And I noticed that people could not really hear the last words. I would suggest for you to raise your volume so that everyone can hear you. It is the difference between when we're talking in condescending tone and encouraging tone. Because sometimes when we're basing it on you or advice, it can feel condescending because we as a person felt like me. But if we base it on I language, the observation language, then it feels less condescending and more fact-based because it's based on what we see, what we hear, and what we feel. So far, so good? Cool? Okay. So this is the conclusion. Advice is you language. You should, you must, you could have, you better do. Compared to I language, I saw that, I noticed that, I heard that, I felt that. Let me ask Christian. Christian, how would you feel if I say, Christian, you should speak louder?
Yeah, I feel more that statement is more commanding.
Commanding, yes. And compared to Christian, I heard that your voice was too soft, and I would like to suggest to raise your volume more so people can hear you.
Yeah, that more soften.
Yeah. Which one would you feel more acceptable to listen to?
The second one.
Second one, right? So this is one example how you can use a more encouraging language in your evaluation. It's observational base. Instead of you language, switch to the I language. So we cover one of that, and now we getting into the meat of it, right? In Toastmasters, when you evaluate people, we usually use what we call sandwich evaluation. So we say, when you want to evaluate people, prepare your sandwich. And what is sandwich? Sandwich is just like there is a bread, meat, and also bread in a sandwich. You always open with soft bread. Open with positive observation of what the speaker did well. Try to identify their strengths in their performance or their presentation. So in the structure of evaluation, that's when you share your commendation. Following up by the protein, the meat. Now, the protein has a lot of nutritional value, but it's usually harder to chew compared to the bread, right? So protein here is the recommendation, the teaching point that the speaker can take after listening to your evaluation. Sometimes it might take some effort to chew it down, but it will definitely give them value in terms of their growth as a speaker. And last, close it again with a soft breath or encouraging remarks. Why? Because just like Maya Angelou said, people might forget what you say or how you say it, but they will remember how you make them feel. So we always want to make them feel encouraged and inspired. We want to give them hope that, hey, you're not as bad as you thought. You can be way much better. Keep going. So that's why we always want to close with encouraging remarks. And if you want to compete in Toastmasters evaluation contest, my first tip is always have a summary in your evaluation. The summary can be as simple as Toastmaster Elisa, I love your body language and also the opening. And I would suggest two things: stronger closing and clearer pause. For example, it can be as simple as that. That's also part of summary. Now, some of you said, oh yeah, I don't really know what to change. I don't really know what to look for in a speech. The speaker was way too good. So I made like a cheat sheet, 16 things that you can really put into your mind before you're entering speech evaluation contest or before you even evaluate any speakers. So I split it into COD. And yes, ladies, this is not cash on delivery, even though I know all of us have done it, but it's content, organization, and delivery. So I split it into three main parts so that each part we can really explore it further. So let's go into the content. Content is what is not really seen by our eyes, right? It's the entire script, what they write, what the speaker write, what they presented. So in content, the first element is the topic. You might say, a topic? What about the topic? So let me give you an example. In a club meeting, if the project is about effective body language and the topic of the speech was about my experience as an accountant, obviously, just from the title, it was not a great match because effective body language requires you to tell a story that use a lot of movement. But if the topic something like yoga for beginner or something, then you can already imagine there's so many different elements of body languages, like the gestures, the movement, the expressions that you can utilize for the speech. So in terms of like the club meeting topic, try to find relevant topic with the project is recommended. But for the contest, when you look at the speech and you're trying to analyze it, just think about one thing. Is this topic relatable to me? Can I relate to this? If the answer is yes, then chances are you can put this topic into the commendation box. If you feel like it's not really relatable, then you can suggest it as part of recommendation. You can say, hey, we are your audience and none of us here understand accounting. So maybe try to find a general topic that everyone can relate to. So that could be how you look at it. The second one is purpose. Purpose is, there are two types of purpose: general purpose of the speech and specific purpose of the speech. In general, speeches have 4 different purposes: to inspire, to inform, to entertain, and to persuade. To inform is when you want to transfer knowledge. Just like what I'm doing right now, I want to inform you about evaluation, the mindset, the mechanics, and also the tips. So that's my purpose tonight. I want to inform you about evaluation, knowledge transfer. To inspire is to have a different perspective. So for example, tonight, I also want to inspire you not to be afraid to evaluate other people, because evaluation, it's not easy, of course, but it's not as hard as you thought. So it could be to inspire. You want to give a different perspective. You want to inspire them. And then to persuade is you want to persuade them to adopt a new belief or to do something. So for example, I want to persuade Rendra to run for 10K. So that could be part of like the speech. And then to entertain is basically to entertain people, to make them laugh, to make them feel joyful. The best example is stand-up comedian. So that's the general purpose of the speech. When you evaluate, try to think, what is the general purpose of the speech? Is it to inspire, to persuade, to inform, or to entertain? And then message is the specific purpose of the speech. It's when you're looking at a speech and you say, okay, I think what Ben is trying to say to me is that just try it. You'll never know if you never try it. So if you can find like that one sentence that you can take away from the speech, it means that the message is clear. But when you listen to a speech and you still don't know what the speaker is trying to say, you didn't really remember anything, then you can recommend it as an improvement. Clarify the message. And as a part of content, we also have stories. Stories are when the speaker's trying to paint emotion through the stories that they tell. Usually they use personal stories to make it more authentic, but you can also look at the stories as in, can you relate to that stories? Is the stories relevant to what they're trying to say? If what they're trying to say is you never know if you never tried, but the story is about something else, then you can put it under recommendation. Next, we go to organization. Organization is basically when we're looking at the structure of the speech, because without a solid structure, your presentation will lack clarity and impact. So in organization, we'll see 3 different things: the opening, body, and closing. For the opening, look at the speech and ask yourself, is the opening hook me? Or is the opening really pull you in? If yes, then it's a great opening. For example, the opening, the speaker can do something totally unexpected, and you're like, what? What is he's trying to do? And you got hooked right away. So that's an example of great opening. But when the opening was not clear, for instance, in a club setting, in a club meeting, a speaker tried to say something, and after like 5 minutes, you still don't know what the speech is all about. You can suggest in the opening, you can clarify what you're trying to say by giving like a pointer or like a sentence. So that's for the opening. The purpose of opening, a great opening will hook the audience attention or will engage them from the get-go and will give you an idea of where the speaker is going to go. For the body, there are so many different ways to structure your speech, from chronological, storytelling, past, present, future, etc. But the body, try to limit it into like 3 main points when you're making an informative presentation or any kind of presentation, except for storytelling, because storytelling it's like one whole flow of stories. So when you're telling a story, just make sure that from one story to another, in one speech, it has the flow or it has the connection and it supported the same message. So that's how you look at the body. For the closing, just ask yourself, is the closing memorable? Do you feel something when you hear the closing? A good closing will have a call to action. Either it's in the form of summary, if it's informational, in the form of call to action, as in, let's do this, if it's persuasive, or they can reiterate the message when it's inspirational. So look at the closing, whether it's memorable or whether it can be stronger. So that's for the structure. Now let's move on to something that we all can listen and we all can see, the delivery. Divided into two, the vocal variety and also the body language. So the first one is vocal variety. There are 4 elements. Pacing is the speed of your voice. So when you're speaking in a monotonous tone like this, imagine what's going to happen after 10, 20 minutes. People will be bored out of their seats. But if you make a different dynamic when you speak, combine different speed, and when you want to emphasize something, you slow down. But you want to show your excitement, you can speak faster. That's the pacing. Pitch is whether your voice has higher pitch or lower pitch. Women are naturally higher pitch than men, but when we want to emphasize something, we usually have a bit like lower pitch, just to show that we are serious about this. Power is volume, how loud or how soft our voice is. And pause is amazing tools in vocal variety because you can emphasize your points by giving a pause before or after. And pause also give emotional breaks. So when you're talking about something really heavy, when you pause, you're giving the audience a chance to breathe. So when you evaluate, just look at, is there a specific part where the speaker can really improve when you apply different types of vocal variety? The same with body language. How about the eye contact of the speaker? Does he or she really look at the audience or look above or beyond or below? The hand gestures. Are the hand gestures distracting or really illustrating the points? Facial expression. Is the facial expression supporting the emotion that they're trying to convey or contradicting it? Body position. Is it confusing or making the stories or the speech clearer? And last but not least, movement. Is the speaker only staying in one spot or able to utilize the stage freely? So look at different part of the body language when the speaker gives her or his speech. Last but not least, I'm going to give some contest tips, but let's go with the contest rules first. So this is, I cut it from the judging sheet, because if you want to go to a contest, you need to understand how would you be marked on. So in evaluation contest, analytical quality, 40 points. Recommendations, 30 points. Technique, 15 points. This is about how you deliver your evaluation. Summation, this is the summary, 15 points. So when you do not have summary, 15 points gone. So let's look at it one by one. From the analytical quality, the effectiveness of the evaluation. Every evaluation should carefully analyze specific strengths and weaknesses of the speaker's presentation. The one I highlighted, strengths and weaknesses, it's plural, which means minimum 2 points for each. It means every time you evaluate, try to find at least 2 strengths and 2 improvement points for the speaker. I would also suggest to max it at 3, because like Rizky said, there's only like 3 minutes. You can't really say 5 or 10 things in 3 minutes. So minimum 2, maximum 3 points for each. Second one, recommendation. Offer specific recommendation for improvement. Practical, helpful, and positive. And this is also related to how we say it, right? Try to avoid using but or however and other negating words. Why? Because when we're trying to build their confidence up, when we use but or however, we're tearing them down. For example, Toastmaster Irlin, wow, such a great speech, amazing story, but the expression was not really conveying the emotion. Man, I wish you could say it differently. So recommendations needs to be positive, specific, and helpful. Try to avoid but or however. And the third one, technique. How evaluator present his or her comments and recommendation. Sensitive to the feeling, yet inspire and encourage. So my best tips on this, my second tips, is that speak as if you are their friend and not their teacher or their boss. So when you want to speak to the speaker, speak as if you're their friend. How would you speak to your friend? From the equal level. So just try to remember that. And then I believe as you practice, your evaluation will come out more naturally. And the last one, summation. Conclusion, briefly summarize the evaluator's comment suggestion, be positive and encouraging. Mention, not explain, just briefly, the commendation and recommendation. That's why I said the summation is not, I love Toastmasters Rizky opening because it's so engaging, and also I love his blah 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 because no, it's explaining. So just say, I love Toastmasters Rizky opening and hand gestures. I would suggest for Toastmaster Rizky to pay more attention to his closing and his pause. That is a summary. You just summarize it, not explain it. So far, okay? Okay. If you're confused, don't worry. This meeting is recorded. You can always go back and review it again. Very quickly, what to avoid in evaluation. One of them, we have briefly mentioned it. Avoid negating words, the use of but or however. Also, avoid whitewashing or overpraising speaker, which will hinder their growth. I saw a lot of people said, oh my gosh, Toastmaster Rendra, such a perfect speech. I don't really know what to say because it's so perfect. Please, that's whitewashing. Even if you don't really find anything to improve on, try to really pinpoint specific moment in the speech and just try to improve that 1%. You don't have to improve like 100, but just try to improve like that 1%. You will definitely find something, because all of us here, we are not world championship of public speaking. So we all will have some room for improvement. And also try to avoid the shopping list evaluation. what I meant by shopping list is that Toastmaster Ben, I love your body language. That was such an amazing structure, great gestures, great blah, blah, blah. Just mentioning without any explanation. That doesn't give any added value for the speaker and yourself. So this is my evaluation formula, and this is my kind of like last slide. Whenever I make my evaluation in club or in contest, I always follow the same formula. So I'm kind of like Colonel Sanders making KFC, because I've been using the same formula for years. It's never changed. The only thing that's changed is the speech and how I apply it. So the first one, whenever I write for commendation or points of strength or praise, I focus on what the speaker did well and why it was good. So I just focus on that. So for example, Toastmasters, Dia, I love your opening. It immediately pulled me in from the get-go and you have my attention. What is the opening? Why? Is because it pulled me in and my attention is fixed on her. Next, for my recommendation, I focus on the what, the why, and the how. So for example, Toastmaster Esther, I noticed that the hand gestures was not really conveying the part of the story that you want to convey. I would suggest that you change that part into this. I believe when the hand gestures follow the verbal explanation, it will give the listener an opportunity to truly imagine and not only hearing it, but also visualizing it. So the what is the hand gestures, the how is how I explain it, how to change it, and then the why is why I suggested to change it, because the hand gestures is important in this way. So specific and practical. And the last one, I try to keep it balanced between value and encouragement. So my speech structure for evaluation is usually either 2 commendation, 2 recommendation, and 1 commendation, or 2 commendation and 2 recommendation, or 3 commendation and 3 recommendation. So I alternate between those structures. You can try it on, whichever feels better for you. When you listen to the speaker, try to list as much point as you can, what they did well, what they can improve on. Later, during your preparation time, pick 2 or 3 points from each sides. Those are the points that you want to present. So when you listen, just write down what you can hear, what you can find. And if your point is only 2, congratulations, you don't have to choose. You can directly use them. But if you have like 3 or 4, then just choose 2 or 3 that best suit your purpose. Let me close with this. You learn speaking by speaking, a quote from Dale Carnegie, and you learn evaluation by giving evaluation. Thank you, and I welcome any kind of questions that you might have. Back to you, Toastmaster Erlin.
I love it. I love it coming tonight. Thank you, Nat.
That's very beautiful. Okay, first of all, I want to say seriously, Natalie, you saved my life. But I'm not exaggerating because I've been a lecturer for 13 years in 7 different university, and speaking is my bread, butter, and life. But I've noticed that because I've never learned speaking seriously, theoretically, how to do better, there are certain things that I didn't know, and you gave me a lot of very clear instruction of how to be a better speaker and like evaluate my student more, because for me, I have been criticized as a critic as a very critical lecturer. I mean, in Indonesian word we say it like dosen killer, like that is very that's like very serious and like very criticizing, and like I do get notes that I sometimes wither their intention to learn by being too spicy. so so this will be very very good. I make a lot of notes. I make a lot of notes, and I will definitely watch this video again, and I will use it for to be a better lecturer, and I
Sure.
hopefully raise better student. Thank you so much. So, okay. What should we do next? Is there any questions? Everybody, should we read from the chat? Do we still have time, Toastmasterski, for question?
Yes,
5 minutes?
yes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes.
Okay, anybody?
May
I
I ask
also
questions?
I also wanted to say that I really love that you said about the gift thinking, and the mindset is like really good. I've been saying a lot in my whole life in the wrong way that I was like, my whole job is like as a lecturer, I have to be looking for people mistake so I can tell them where they can improve. But my be by being looking for mistake, I'm having a mindset as a criticized person, right? So I think that is not a good thing, because I also changed my mindset a few years ago that teaching have to be fun. It doesn't have to be like hurtful or something, because if you don't feel encouraged, you will not be motivated to go on further. So
Great.
I love that you
Be
say it
hearing
was
that.
like a gift.
May I
Okay,
ask
Arlene.
questions,
Okay,
Tom?
Toastmaster Dia want to ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Depende.
Yes, agreed with our Tom today. I learned a lot. Actually, I told to my friends that I will not join for the evaluation contest. But after listening to your explanation and everything, I just feel confidence. One
Oh,
thing that I want,
yay.
yeah, I don't know later on, but I feel confidence. But to be honest, one thing that I'm worried about that it's easy for me to forget.
Mhm.
So while I'm focusing myself to the speaker, talking about something, present their speech, and then I wrote something because I saw in the contest, speaker didn't bring their seat,
Yeah.
so they have to memorize it.
Okay.
What if I forgot?
Okay.
That's I'm worried about.
Can I
Yeah.
clarify? Are you worried about when you're evaluating on the stage, or are you worried about when you're making notes and listen to the speaker?
Both notes and also forget when I already on the stage and then forgot the item that I want to present.
Okay, great. So for both, right? Okay, I give you my tips, and this is something I use also. When you're listening to the speaker in evaluation contest, the SAA will hand you a blank sheet of paper, right? And they will put you into your own seat. When you sit down, you can definitely make some notes on your paper. So if you feel like, oh, I'm gonna forget, then you write down the keywords. Content, structure, delivery. You can write those three. Or if you want to go deeper, topic, message, purpose, yada, yada, yada. You can write everything, all the things that I shared just now. If you calculate all of them, I think it was 16 points, 15 or 16 points. So whichever it is, you write it down on your sheet of paper so that when you listen to the speaker, you can also pick.
Okay.
You can also give like a tick
Yeah.
if that's how you roll with it. Tick, plus, minus, whatever. Use your own way to mark your paper. My second tip for when you're presenting your evaluation is that's why I said limit to 2 or 3 points, because more than that, basically you can't remember. So if you can only remember 2 points and 2 points, remember the keywords. So for me, if the evaluation keyword is since Rendra is really doing good on his opening and also his gestures, I will remember opening gestures.
Okay.
And then for recommendation, I would remember, for example, he needs to work on his pause and his structure, pause, structure. I just remember the keywords. And the rest is I try to internalize it.
All right. Okay.
I hope that helps.
So much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Probably we can take one more question and then we move on to the practice session.
Anyone want to speak up and ask? Now is your chance.
Risky.
I think
Risky.
Rizky, right? Go ahead,
Okay, if
Rizky.
okay, if not okay, so Natalie, I want to ask, what should we prioritize if there are so many commendation and recommendations? I want to ask how you prioritize. What should we you say lah? Okay,
Let me ask you one question first to clarify. Is this in the club meeting context or in the contest context?
what?
Both. Okay, great. For club meeting, chances are you already know the speaker, right? Because it's your club members. So you can ask the club members, the speaker, in this speech, what do you want to focus on? For example, if Nancy said, Natalie, this speech, I want to focus on my vocal variety. So even if the project is about, let's say, leadership, but I also will put on the focus on her vocal variety because it's what will give the best value for her. So always ask the speaker what she or he wants to focus on. And then in addition to what the project objective is, you can always add that one focus evaluation for him or her. For the contest, just imagine you are the judges and there is like 6 or 7 contestants on stage. After 5 contestants, if they say similar things, wouldn't you feel bored? Right? So try when you're looking at the whole thing and you're looking at the notes, there are 3 or 4 different things. Try to think which one might be different than what other people doing. Which one might not be as easy to spot compared to what other people might look at. So I always try to look at it from that way in terms of contest. So whenever the contest coming up, I try to analyze the content and the structure more than the delivery. Because it's very easy to catch on like the movement and then yada, yada, yada. But then when you can analyze, is the message clear? Can I improve on the message? Is there a chance to make the story better or something like that? Then I think that's the real value. That's all from me, Rizky.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Okay, I think it's time to move on to our next part of the meeting today. It will be the part of the sample speaker session. Today we have 2 speakers. First of all, we will start with Esther TM speech with the theme, The Secret Ingredients. Okay, the time and space is yours.
Sorry, Erlyn, sorry, I need to interject a little bit. We need to explain to the audience first that after the 2 prepared speech speakers, there will be a practice session for all the audience. So if you volunteer yourself to be one of the speech evaluator, we will pick, I think, 3 for each speaker. And then at the end, I will evaluate the evaluators. It's also a chance for you to practice your evaluation, get feedback, and grow from it. Back to you, Erlyn.
Okay, thank you so much. So, that is the add-on information. So we can move on to Esther TM. Are you ready?
Yes, I would like to have the timer. Yeah, Ben, I'll pin you there. Okay. Once upon a time, there is panda. Yeah, a panda that was adopted by a goose. Anybody here watch Kung Fu Panda? If you watch Kung Fu Panda, please show your reaction. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. Okay. So Kung Fu Panda was adopted by Papa Goose. This is Papa Goose. Yes. So Papa Goose owned a very successful noodle shop. Ta-da! So Papa Goose told the panda that, one day, panda, one day you will take over my business and I will release the secret ingredients of this noodle to you. A lot of factors we can be successful in life. Like Natalie, she is a business manager, a public speaker, like we are all here, like successful in our own area. There is like another part that we have to be successful to be happy, like family life, social life, emotional, mental, spiritual. But there is one more area that I find very challenging, and that is physical activity and health. Yeah. I try so many exercises, and I will do it for 6 months, 1 year, 3 months, but then I will like not doing it for 3 months, 6 months. So I don't have consistency. Well, then maybe I'm not successful because I haven't found the right teacher. 1 year ago, I find a friend that teach Pilates. So I told her all my health issue. I have migraine, I have this and that, And then she was like, okay, maybe you would like to try my class. Then I try her class. Then, after several months, I actually can feel the difference in my body. Then, something interesting. She is actually a Pilates trainer teacher. And she asked me, Pastor, I have this academy. Would you like to train? You join the academy. And I was like, okay, let's try. And I tried Pilates Academy together with all the like experienced trainers. I was the heaviest in class. And a lot of things that the teacher asked me to do, I can't even do it. And I was so depressed, frustrated, and I don't know what to do, just like the panda at one stage of his life. I really don't know what to do. But my teachers was like way more patient than me. She will like, okay, Esther, lay down, engage, and try to lift up your hip. And I was like, I already lift it up, but nothing happened. Nothing is actually on air. It's like nothing happened. And she was like, it's okay. Maybe not today. Maybe tomorrow. It's not today. And I was just wondering why I'm being so hard on myself. And other people can have so much grace and patience to my body. Back to the noodle business. So one day, the Papa Goose told the panda, Panda, I think this is the time that I will release the secret ingredient of my noodle. And the panda was so excited. Okay, the secret ingredient of my father's noodle. The secret ingredient of my noodle is nothing. Nothing. And the panda is like, what? So basically there is no secret recipe or secret ingredients that you put to the noodle? So all this time, you have taught me everything to be able to cook the noodle as good as you? Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, do you think there is no secret ingredient? I don't think so. I think there is a secret ingredient that suddenly the father just released in that moment. The secret ingredient to the secret ingredient is confidence. The confidence that the father suddenly released it to the panda. The panda didn't have that confidence until that day. The father released that to him, that he actually has everything to be able to do as good as what the father has done. In this season of my life, in my physical activities challenge, I do not have that confidence yet. But I guess the secret ingredient to get that confidence is to be kind. It's to be kind to my body and to tell them that, okay, if I cannot do that today, if I cannot lift the weight 20 kilo today, it's okay. Maybe tomorrow. To have so much grace and patience toward myself, but at the same time, just show up at the practice. I have done it finally for 6 months, and I can really see the difference, and I can really lift something up finally today. And whether I have finished the race, so the secret ingredient to the secret ingredient is just to be there, show up, and be kind to yourself. Thank you.
That is a very beautiful speech. The secret in the ingredient of the secret ingredient, very secret. Thank you so much. So, after this, we will hear the second speaker from Jakarta Toastmaster, Dia Ningrum Toastmaster. The time and place is yours.
Thank you, our Tom. May I see timer, please? Okay, thank you. Am I audible and visible? All right. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you ever felt of a place in the world that loves competition? Have you ever asked yourself, why do I have to compete when I prefer to connect? That's how I often felt. I don't enjoy competing. I never liked school contests or even small games where people try to win. It doesn't mean that I hate competition. I just don't see the point of it. I feel more at peace helping others grow than trying to stay ahead. And that's when I began to realize this isn't just a preference. It's a part of how I communicate, how I see people, and how I live. Today, I want to share what I have learned about my communication style and how it's deeply connected to my natural strengths as developer and learner, and why competition has always felt like a mismatch for me. Ladies and gentlemen, after learning about communication style, I found myself in the supportive type. Supportive communicators are calm, patient, and caring. We are good at listening. We want people to feel safe, not judged. This show in how I talk with others. One night, a friend of mine called me. Dia, I feel I'm not good enough at work. I didn't give her advice. I didn't tell her what to do. I just said, that sounds hard. I know how much effort you have been putting. You are not alone. She paused and said, thank you, Dia. I needed that. That's what I do best. I create space, I stay beside people, I listen, and I support. Ladies and gentlemen, two of my Gallup strengths are developer and learner. This match my communication style perfectly. As a developer, I enjoy seeing people grow. Even small progress makes me happy. I believe everyone has potential, even if they don't see it yet. For example, I once mentored a young colleague. She often doubted herself. I didn't rush her. I give her time, support, and gentle feedback. Over time, she started speaking up and sharing her ideas. One day, she said, Pudia, you made me feel that I could do this. That's my developer strength in action, sharing quietly in the background. Another day, I talked with a colleague who had really quiet in the meeting. I asked her gently, I noticed you haven't shared much lately. Is something on your mind? I didn't try to fix it. I just asked, what would help you feel more comfortable speaking up? That question opened a deeper talk, not just about work, but about confidence. It reminded me that as a learner, I connect by being curious, not to teach, but to understand. And simple act of asking can make people feel seen. Ladies and gentlemen, but there is one area I still struggle with: competition. It's not a natural strength for me. Competing makes me uncomfortable. I don't enjoy comparing myself to others. I used to feel something, what's wrong with me? But now I know I'm just wired differently. I value teamwork over ranking. I want everyone to succeed. Still, I have learned something important. Healthy competition doesn't mean hurting others. It can mean growing past your old self. That shift helped me grow while staying true to my supportive nature. Ladies and gentlemen, learning about my communication style has helped me understand myself better. I'm not loud. I'm not also competitive. But I can notice everyone. I build up others. I help people grow and I grow with them too. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, you don't need to be loud to be heard. You don't need to be shout to be heard. You just speak from your heart. Back to you, Tom.
Wow, that is very beautiful. Being somebody that's very competitive, seeing other people' point of view, but I really resonate with the growing ourselves to help other people grow. That is the thing that we both as a teacher have in common. So after this, I believe our session will continue to the evaluation session. So there will be up to 3 evaluator for each speaker. Let's start with the first speaker, Esther, Toastmaster from Bhinneka. Does anyone want to be tribute to evaluate? So we can learn speaking by doing speaking. Anybody raise hand? I see Nancy Afi from Bhinneka Toastmaster. Are you ready?
Maybe we can list first, and
Okay.
then after 3, we can list for both, and then you can conduct it consecutively.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have. Do you want to try Toastmaster Ben, or you just raising hand? No, you cannot because your timer. Sorry.
But
Anybody?
hands up because I'm the timer. Just make
Yeah.
sure that everyone sees me.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? We still have 2 slots. Anybody? If not,
Risky.
Risky. Oh, okay. Nancy first. This is both evaluator for Toastmaster Esther from Bhinneka. Another one, tribute people, so we can continue our journey to the evaluation. One more tribute, guys, to be evaluator.
Maybe you pick one, Erlin.
Oh, okay. I would love to do that. Can we have a guest as evaluator? Can? Is it possible, Natalie? Can I?
Oh, if they want to, I don't mind.
Okay, I'll shoot for Andres Sugeng. Do you want to try? Hello? Are you there?
Oh, maybe guess Christian.
I'm sorry, I just wanna to observe first, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I give a try, even though I just give? Yeah, can I give a try?
I think okay. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. Natalie, you're okay
All
with
right.
that? Okay. So it's Toastmaster, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, full seats for the first round. Let's start with Nancy Afi from Bhinneka. The time is yours.
Okay, before I start, am I audible and visible? Thank you. Toastmaster Esther, what an inspirational speech. Well, Toastmaster Esther, congratulations for doing your speech. And there are two things that I like from your speech. The first one is your opening. You started your speech by asking question. Do you know, by asking question and engage with audience, we do understand that our opening, our first 30 seconds will determine whether the audience will follow our speech or not. And you did that really good because you can grab people attention at the first 30 minutes by asking the questions. And the second thing that I like about your speech is that you are using relatable story that relate with us, that relate with us, the audience. You share about your personal story, and all of us can follow your story very well, and we can learn from your story. We also get the message from your story. I love when you said we just need to show up and be kind. What an inspirational speech that we heard from you, Toastmaster Esther. I do believe that you have done a great speech, and to make your speech even greater, I would recommend two things for improvement. The first one is the dialogue. I saw that you are using dialogue during your speeches, the dialogue of Papa. And to make your speech even more attractive, you can change the vocal into Papa's voice. That will make the audience, that will attract the attention of the audience. That's the first thing that I suggest. And the second thing that I would like to suggest is your hand gesture. Maybe this is because of the online, so it was hard for us to explore the stage. But we can also still show our hand gesture. Hand gesture is important because when we show our hand gestures, we can also connect with the audience through our hand gestures. When we open our hands, we welcome the audience to get into our story. So when deliver your speech, I noticed that most of the time your hands is not shown in the camera, so it is under the camera. So I would suggest you to show your hand gestures to the audience and to the speakers. So overall, there are two things that I like about your speech. The first one is your opening. The second one is the relatable topic that you use. And there are two things that I would like to suggest for the improvement. The first one is vocal variety, and the second one is hand gestures. And good luck for your future speech. Back to you.
Thank you so much for Toastmaster Nancy Afi from Bhinneka. Okay, are you ready for the next Toastmaster Rizky from Jakarta Toastmaster Club?
Yes.
Okay, you better be ready because the time is yours now.
Toastmaster Esters. Be there, be confident, and be kind. Those three messages represent your speech. And I really love the key message that you put. And most of the times, I really enjoy watching your speech because you set the mood and you set the tone that your speech will be fun and also inspires. You using Kung Fu Panda. I I already watched it and I relate to the speech as well. It's really good speech and it's really good movie example that you put it on. Another thing that I like about Toastmaster Esther is that the way she delivered the story is like movie. For example, Toastmaster Esther first explained about how the duck want to tell a secret about another secret ingredient, and you put it to the real story so that we all can relate to, and you put the context in the scene as well. Also, another thing that I really like is that your vocal variety, I think it's really amazing because you cleverly play down or and play up your vocal variety so that we as an audience can enjoy the speech more. To improve Toastmaster Esther speech to be much better and greater, I would like to suggest two things. The first is that when Toastmaster Esther say about be there or be correct, be confident, and be kind, and 2 points first, be there and be confident, is already explained and a part of the speech. For the kind itself, it needs to be more refined so that we will know what is the meaning of be kind based on your speech. One other thing that can really improve Toastmaster Esther's speech is that going standing. Toastmaster Esther do a lot of hand gestures and it's not visible because the background or the camera is blocked and it doesn't have much visibility to make your hand gesture visible. So if Toastmaster Esther standing and doing hand gesture, also her body movement while standing, I think it will be more impactful. Overall, great key message, good delivery with standing and explain big kind more, it will be more impactful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rizky Ridho Pratamo from Jakarta Toastmaster Club. Okay, the next one will be Toastmaster Dia. That's also a speaker, but welcome to Tribe Evaluation.
Yeah.
Thank you
Give
so
it
much
try.
for participating. Okay, the
All
time is
right. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Easter. I am a fan of Kung Fu Panda. I watched with my children and I could relate your story with my life. And I believe also with others. You grab our attention with the background, the picture of Pooh and also Papa Goose. For us, it's easy to follow your story because you give an attractive background, which means it's a good opening to engage with the audience. Because what is the speech if we cannot engage with the audience? And you nail it since the beginning. The second one, I observe how passionately and energetically you inspired the audience with your personal story about your physical, about your Pilates exercise and everything. I can hear your vocal is very clear so that it's easy for us, especially me, to follow and to understand the message. And the most interesting thing, not only your vocal is clear, I also notice that you convey the message with the emotion, which we can see clearly from your face expression. That's two of the great things that you have conveyed to the audience. I think that we can keep it for a long time, the message. And of course, there is still room for improvement, right, Paul? Papa Goose has lots of beautiful quotes, beautiful proverbs to give us motivation to be confident and everything. And I realized that the message, be confident and also kind, is the heart of your speech. And I think that it is good if you can emphasize it by raising up the voice. Just be kind. And also emphasize, not only raise up, but also just give like a tone. Be confident. And I believe your story would be interesting if you not only sit, but also stand up. Because we not only see your hand gestures, but your body language to support the story. Overall, congrats for your speech. I cannot wait for your next speech. And I believe you will become a good speaker, the better one. Back to you, our Tom.
Thank you so much for Toastmaster Dia for the evaluation. And now we will go to the second session, which is evaluation for Toastmaster Dia's speech. We will ask if any of you guys wanted to participate. Anybody wants to participate as evaluator for Toastmaster Dia? Don't forget, this is a gift. Don't you want to give this wonderful lady a gift that she needed to grow as a better person? So please be giving, guys. This is your time and place. She have already give you her life story and motivation. So please give the love back to our lovely speaker, Toastmaster Dia.
I think Rendra raised his hand, Erlyn.
Is it? Wait, I cannot see. Oh,
Rendra, are you in?
I volunteer myself to evaluate Dia as
thank
what I
you.
can.
Thank you. Another tribute, guys, as an evaluator. We will need two more evaluator to give a beautiful gift for Toastmaster Dia.
Come on, guys. I will not bite.
Okay. Can we ask somebody from Bhinneka also?
Our club is 8 people, right? All of us have taken all roles. So maybe from JTC.
Or maybe Ika, do you want?
Ika is the newest member, just joined.
I can do it. Someone timing.
Oh, you want to do it,
Oh.
Ben?
Sure.
Nice, nice.
Okay, I will time you.
Thank you.
Damn, Ben.
Okay. One more seat, guy, and the bus will be ready to go.
Can I ask our member, Tom?
Sure.
I really hope that our Madam President.
Oh, Elsa.
Can you give
I heard my name is being called.
You have been
Yes.
It will
called.
be my honor.
Thank you.
It will be my honor.
Okay. Okay, the seat is full. Thank you everybody for willingness to give evaluation. For the first evaluator will be Toastmaster Marendra Dika from Bhinneka. The time and place is yours.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Dia. Well, to my ears, both of mine, you've delivered your speech very well. It is hard to find where's the room for improvement, to be honest to you. Yet, I was trying to use Natalie's advice. Try some. Well, at least try to evaluate. You will learn something. What I have learned, I've heard. You have opened the speech very good. You explain, and I've heard. You told us that you don't like the competitions, yet you underline that being in the competition, you've got experiences and friends. Those are the most important messages that I can listen by my 2 ears. Now, I would like to say something that you might works a little bit to enhance something that it helps me, especially as a photographer. If you pay attention to my background, it's colorful, correct? So it is my black suits, so my hair colorful. So there's a certain contrast between me, the object, and the backgrounds. Apparently, what I show, you wear white hijab, and your background is white. White with white. Well, it's simply I see the face, just the face. It may be not helping for those who are visuals. Second, if I have paid attention to your eyes, it seems that you are seeing to the floor. Why? Because it is online. You tend to see the screen instead of the camera. To those who pay attention, you are seeing the floor, not seeing to the other's eyes. So it would be much better for next speech. You know where the camera is, and somehow move the attentions to the camera, even though that's only the camera. And yes, of course, because this is an online, no one see the body movements or the gestures overalls from the top to down. I can handle that situations. However, apparently you can emphasize the use of hands a little bit up. What I saw is more in the lower parts, and the combination of the background and the hand gestures not yet at the best. Yet those are room for improvements. Finally, you have very great English, easy English. The use of vocabularies everyone can easily understand. So I bet that everyone knows very well your message. There's no doubt that your message just get across to the audience very well. Those are my 2 cents. Thank you, and give the control back to whoever the world owner is.
That would be me. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Marendra Ika. from Bhinneka. I'm also a photographer, so I relate what you said. Like I teach photography. Okay, thank you so much. And the next will be Toastmaster Ben to give the evaluation. The time is yours.
All right. Dia, fantastic. Now, I'm going to be fully transparent. I was listening mostly as a timer. That means I wasn't all the way mentally in class. But that said, I did get pretty much everything you said. And the one thing I do like the message, it's relatable in the sense that you talk about competition and something, it's not necessarily for you and you don't want to hurt someone else's feelings. But a lot of times, what happens in this world is that when we get set in our ways, in the way we think, we don't take the time to reflect and see the other side. And you realize that within this Toastmaster realm, that the friendly competitions that we have throughout the year is a way for us to challenge ourselves, to grow, and to kind of build a community. And with this kind of message, it's able to show people that we don't have to just be stuck in our ways, right? To kind of take a step and challenge ourselves. And you never know what happens when you go out there and challenge yourself, because you're going to be able to motivate and influence other people who are afraid to get on the stage and, have people look at you and judge you. So this speech really resonates with me and I think a lot of other people in that way. And the fact that I think it was you in the beginning of the meeting, you said you were kind of nervous because it kind of feels like a competition, right? And the speech was entirely about that. So it was right on task with kind of what your whole message was. And it was really put out in a way with very clear structure, 3 points that you hit on, which makes the audience easy to kind of connect to. The one thing, or like I say, the 2 things I would really challenge you on here would be, I think your speech is about 6 minutes long. Your speech content is so good. You have a whole entire minute and a half to like educate and inspire. So when I tell my students, get on the stage, and if you have 4 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, use it all and be happy that you're up there, because we want to hear what you have to say. And 2, even though your presentation, how you present yourself is just very enjoyable, relaxing, you talk with a smile, this is where you got to kind of get out of your comfort zone and out of your bubble. And like, same thing as the other speakers say, gestures, right? Be a little bit bigger, right? We have this little camera box here. A lot of us are stuck in here still. We could use the box that we're in and the space that we're in. So try to make yourself a little bit bigger in not just you as the person, but when we're speaking, we're kind of an exaggerated version of ourselves when we're on stage, right? And that kind of allows us to kind of be more relatable in a way so people can remember us later. There's no reason to get on stage and then not have anybody remember what you had to say. So use your space, right? Use your time. But other than that, it was an amazing and inspirational speech. Thank you for letting me evaluate. Back to you.
Wow, that is a very cool evaluation, Toastmaster. And like double tasking, I tried once as a timer. I think skip my head easier, and that's a really hard job to fill. Okay, thank you so much. So, last but very not least, our president, Toastmaster Elsa. The time and space is yours.
In the silence, in the calmness, and in the stillness of her voice, Toastmaster Dia taught us that strength comes in different forms. Her strength just happens to come in a quiet little voice that comes in a brave form, even though it doesn't show up as something loud. As an introvert myself, I totally relate to that. And I'm sure that all introverts out there who wants to learn public speaking, who wants to learn how to make their voices heard, can relate to Toastmaster Dia's story. And I think she brought a really important topic, that everyone can be brave, that even though that even though you're not loud, even though you don't shout, you still can be heard as long as you can share your opinions and your voices in a way that matters, in a way that is impactful, in a way that you know you can communicate it well. So it was a job very well done by Toastmaster Dia in the terms of choosing the topic as well as delivering her own voices, her own opinions to let us know that there are different ways for us to be heard. I would love so much the Toastmaster Dia to elevate her speech. So in your next speech, I would suggest that I know that you really want to emphasize your quiet strength. But I would also like you to raise your voice a little bit so we can actually hear what you're trying to say. I'm not saying that you're not talking loud enough, but I want you to use different pacing. I want you to use different tonality. I want you to use different kinds of voices to make sure that we can actually follow along your messages. And what I would also like to suggest is that you can use what I call the 3 steps way. And in this way, for the first step, you're going to deliver your story. Why do you want to share this story with us? And then on the next step, you can share with us your lessons learned. This way, we can also learn the things that matter to you from your own story. And on the last step, on the third step, we can actually learn that what is the message that you're trying to say. So with those 3 steps, you can actually share your story in a more structured way, in a way that you can showcase that your quiet strength doesn't need to be quiet. It can be loud to the people that matters. So all in all, I love your speech. I love the way you choose your topic, and I would love for you to be able to deliver your voice and your opinions in a way that is more impactful. Keep on rocking the Toastmaster stage, Toastmaster Dia, and I'm giving back the control to our Tom.
Okay, thank you so much from our president, Elsa. You sound very poetic the way you say, and you make me reminded of Master Uguay from the panda. Okay, next we will hear from the evaluate. Sorry,
Photo session
it's
first. Photo session first.
oh photo
Photo
session
session,
first.
photo
Oh,
session.
okay, okay.
Okay. Guys, please open your camera so that I can see your beautiful and handsome face. All right,
Come
all
on, everyone.
right. Okay.
Turn on camera. Dewi, Rosa, Dia, Nikki, Susan, Pugu. Come on, turn on your camera, Pugu. Dewi and Dia. Hello, Didi, Nikki, Susan. Dewi, Dia, are you there? Nikki, Susan.
Okay.
Dewi, Dia, Nikki, Susan is not there.
Yes. Okay, so on my count, please post whatever you like. Okay, so on my count, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next post.
Wait. Wait,
Okay,
bro, wait. I need to paste it. Wait. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Hold on a moment. Okay, next post.
okay,
Sure.
okay, next post. In 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it. Okay, it's already done.
Okay, thank
So
you
back to you, Tom.
for the photo session. Now we will continue to our next part, which is evaluation of evaluator. Finally, I can do it. Okay, the time and space is your Miss Natalie.
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Earlane. So first, I'm going to start with the evaluators for Toastmaster Esther's, who were Toastmaster Nancy, Toastmaster Rizky, and Toastmaster Dia. Overall, all three evaluators have demonstrated an excellent analytical quality because they not only give feedback based on what they see, not only about the body language or something that they can hear, the vocal variety, but they're trying to dig deep and trying to analyze, is the message relatable? Is it supported? Blah, blah, blah. So I want to commend all of you for that. Let me give each of you some feedbacks. For Toastmasters, Nancy, I love your structure because it's very clear. I think from my evaluation book, she applied the 2C and 2R, or 2 combination and 2 recommendation. It's very clear. She also mentioned the purpose of the speech in the beginning, inspirational speech. So immediately when we hear that, we know, oh, the speech is inspirational for her. And then there are 2 things that she loved, 2 things that she can improve on. I think for Nancy, one thing that she did really well also was her sympathetic tone. So when she speaks, people won't think of her as condescending or something that's criticizing, but very sympathetic and very encouraging. So I think that's your natural strength as a speaker. You're naturally sympathetic, you're naturally encouraging. So keep that up, Nancy. I think for Nancy, I noticed that when she was giving recommendations, the recommendation, for example, the vocal variety, papa voice, and also the gestures. She mentioned the what, she mentioned why it needs to be improved. I would suggest for Nancy to demonstrate it. So when you say papa voice, like what? So that Esther can immediately understand it and implement it. And also the gestures, the hand gestures can be bigger or something, like what? In which part? Pinpoint specific part so that Esther can also immediately apply it on her next speech. So I think for you, you can really focus on giving specific actionable steps for the speaker to improve her speech. And one more thing is I noticed that you are also over time. One thing I would like to suggest to you is quicken the pace a little bit when you're giving evaluation. Instead of like your natural pace like this, maybe in some part you can speak a little bit faster, and in a different part you can also play with the dynamic of your speech as well. So when you do that, I believe you'll be before time, and your feedback can be more useful and specific. But I think knowing you from the beginning until now, you made tremendous progress, and well done. The second one is Toastmasters Rizky. Toastmaster Rizky, among the 3 evaluators for Esther, has demonstrated an excellent analytical skill because he touched on the message. He explained, I noticed that you said be there, be confident, be kind, but the be kind needs to be elaborated. I think your strength is your analytical skill. So you're able to listen and look at the speech and really analyze it. So keep that up. I also like how Toastmaster Rizky opened it in a way that really connect with what Esther said. So he said, be there, be confident, and be kind. It can actually be the message, right? Because Esther didn't really say it that way. So you can actually use that as a recommendation for her message if you want to look at it from that way. My suggestion for Toastmaster Rizky is that to improve clarity, remember the formula what, why, and how? I think for you, having the what really described in a brief way will benefit a lot, not only for you, but also for the speaker. Let me give you an example. You mentioned, Toastmaster Esther, I love how you set the mood and the tone of the speech. I also love the way she delivered her story like movie. But if you need to explain it in like one phrase, what would it be? Is it the energy? Is it the delivery? At the end, I tried to listen. You delivered a summary and you said, I love the key message and the delivery, and just work on the, hang on, I forgot. Okay, I missed that. I love the key message and the delivery, and something else for the recommendation. I think the delivery is very generic. So you got to be specific. If you want to win the evaluation contest, you cannot give like feedback such as, it was a great speech delivery, or it was a great speech content. You got to really go specific. What part of the delivery? Is it the vocal variety? And if it's vocal variety, if you can really analyze it deeper, which part? For example, if I evaluate Esther, I would say, Esther, that was such an engaging pacing and vocal dynamic, because that's the two things that I really like from her vocal variety. So you can really go deep and be specific in the delivery that you think is great from the speaker. So for you, I think if you can simplify and come up with a phrase. For example, two things I would like to suggest for Toastmaster Esther is supporting stories and body position. So those are like the 2 points. And then you can explain the body position means he needs to stand up. And the supporting stories means that the story needs to support the message, or else the other way around. The message needs to be relatable to the stories. So just try to formulate the what, and then it's gonna make your evaluation at least twice as effective as you are now. Okay? Keep up the good work. For Toastmaster Dia, I love how I think your biggest strength as an evaluator and as a speaker, because I see you doing both tonight, is your vocal tonality. You're very calm. You're very supportive. That's what I hear and that's what I see from both sides, right? I think that's your strength. As an evaluator, it feels like you're the technique, it's the sympathetic tone, it's the encouraging tone. I think you got it. So keep that up. One thing I would like to suggest to Toastmaster Dia in particular is you can be brief and be clear. So you have already the tonality of an encouraging evaluator. You don't have to explain more. Keep it brief. For example, in the beginning, you said, "Oh, Toastmaster Esther, it was, I love Kung Fu Panda. It was so relatable." Because I noticed that it's always like 40 seconds just in the first point, or like almost 1 minute. But basically, you're still saying the same thing, which is the opening was so excellent. So my suggestion is focus on the analysis, because your tone has done the work of making it encouraging. So keep it brief, such as, Toastmaster Esther, I really love the opening. It was you really engaged me from the get-go. You have my attention. And who doesn't love Kung Fu Panda? Another thing that I like, so you can just go straight, because you have mentioned what she did well, why she did well, and how you relate to it. So move on to the next point. By doing that, you will have extra time to be allocated for other things, namely recommendation. I noticed that your recommendation mainly for Toastmaster Esther is the delivery, like the raise the voice, put emphasis. Again, when you suggest something, demonstrate if possible in which part specifically. I think when you are able to pinpoint a specific part and given an example of it, that will raise your mark higher, because it means that you're really paying close attention and that your feedback is really applicable. Another thing is that, remember when you suggest something, why does it need to be like that? So for example, you said raise the voice, emphasize. You mentioned the what, you also illustrate the how, but the why needs to be elaborated as well. Why do we need to raise the voice and put emphasis? Then the speaker will be more open to listen and believe you because you explain and appeal to their logic, not only their feeling. Overall, I think you're showing a promising potential. I hope that you join evaluation contest and just have fun with it. Well done, Toastmaster Dia. Now, let me move on to the second speech of Toastmaster Dia that is evaluated by Toastmaster Rendra, Toastmaster Ben, and also Toastmaster Elisa. First up, Toastmaster Rendra. Toastmaster Rendra has applied the I language. He said, I heard, I saw, and it helps put a more objective approach into his evaluation. He also applied the structured 2 commendation, 2 recommendation, and 1 commendation, which is very much okay. It's kind of like sandwich. I would suggest for Toastmasters Rendra to focus more on the analytical part. I noticed that your recommendation is mainly on what you can see, the visual part. The eye contact one was an excellent recommendation that's definitely beneficial for Toastmaster Dia, and you explained the what, the why, and also the how. Well done. The visual part in the first part, I wasn't really sold at it because I believe that there are other things that you can dig deep from the speech. So next time, try to think about the story. Is the story relatable and support the point? Or you can think about what is the message that you get from her speech? Does the message also relate to other people in this room? So for example, you mentioned that the message is about, oh, through competition, you can get friends and growth. Is it relatable with other people in this room? Maybe some of them, just like Toastmaster Dia, they don't like competition. They've never joined a competition. So you can also suggest, maybe find a message that is more relatable, such as, because the speech title is actually Quiet Strength. So the emphasis is actually on the strength, having a different strength. So when you're able to improve your analytical skill with your friendly tone, I believe you will become a much better evaluator. Keep it up, friend. For Toastmaster Ben, he is a native English speaker. I think he's the only one in this room. But again, evaluation is a skill. Even if you're a native English speaker, you also need to pay attention. You also need to make notes, and you also need to practice. For Toastmaster Ben, his analytical skill is excellent. He mentioned about the message, the structure, as 2 points that the speaker did well. And also 2 things to challenge is the time and also the gesture in online meeting. So it's also suitable and actionable steps that the speaker can apply. I also noticed that Ben mentioned the purpose, which is like to inspire the audience. One thing that I would suggest for Ben is, and also for all of us to learn, sometimes it's easy for us to get carried on in explaining. I noticed that when Ben explained the first point, relatable message, he mentioned that, in Toastmaster competition, blah, 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 here and there. And also when he mentioned about the time utilization, he gave example of my students, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with that, but for the sake of time, it's more about the speaker and less about us, the evaluator. So we don't have to relate it to our own story. We can immediately say that, Toastmaster Dia, I noticed that your time, you finished at 5, you finished not even at 6 minutes. You still have 1 to 1.5 minutes more to explore. I would suggest to use that time to expand on certain parts of your speech, such as this and this. So when you cut down the personal part, it will give more time to actually give the specific recommendation that the speaker can take and immediately apply. Again, that's just my personal take about it. I think it's more about giving value to the speaker, less about us and more about them. But overall, Ben, you're an experienced speaker. Thanks a lot. Last but not least, Toastmaster Elisa. Toastmaster Elisa here has demonstrated an excellent evaluation because from the beginning, she has utilized her strongest strength. So if Toastmaster Dia title is quiet strength, now strongest strength for Toastmaster Elisa, in my observation, is her tonality. When she speaks, not only she's soft spoken, but she's also very empathetic, and not a lot of people can do that. So I think whether you're doing evaluation, table topic, or speech, I think that could be like one of your biggest strengths. Your tonality is excellent, and I think it's very natural to you. I also love how you are able to dissect the speech and find the core of the message, which is strength come in different forms. Excellent. Not a lot of people are able to really dig deep and understand the core message. So from that, I could see that you have gained experience and you have done this quite a lot. When you're talking about relatability on the topic and delivering her voice in different ways to be heard as part of your commendation, I could see that, it's something that people can relate to. So that's a good commendation. And you also give tips during the recommendation, the 3-step stories, why, lesson learned, etc. I think I can only give you like 1 or 2 little things to improve on. The first one is I noticed you mentioned but in the recommendation part. It's very easy to avoid using but and however. You just replace it with and. So Toastmaster Dia, I noticed that during your speech, the volume was stay low. For example, I forgot exactly what you said, but blah, 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 blah. But it would be great if you raise it up. Toastmaster Dia, I noticed that the volume was a little bit low, and it will be great if you can raise your volume up a little bit. It's very simple, but it just takes a little bit of practice to make it a habit of changing the negating word with and, but change it with and. Another thing is that when you're running out of time, try to focus more on the points and less explanation. Because I think that our biggest challenge is sometimes we get carried away in explaining and we forget the main point. So this is just something that I observe, not really happen in this evaluation, but maybe if you have the tendency to over-explaining, remember, cut the over-explaining and focus on the main point. That's it. That's all from me. I think all of the speech evaluators have done their best, and I hope you all also enjoy our tonight's evaluation workshop. Back to Toastmaster Irlin.
Okay. Now we will go to the closing remark from our speaker, Natalia Chayadi. Time and place is yours.
Excuse me?
Wait. Okay,
Closing
so
remarks. Closing remarks
closing
from
remark.
you.
To close the meeting or to have
Close
like
the workshop session.
Okay, the workshop session. All right. I think I did mine just now. But again, okay, no problem. It's another speaking time. So thank you so much for attending this joint meeting between Jakarta Toastmaster Club and Bhinneka Online Toastmaster Club. This evaluation session, hopefully what I shared can help you to gain confidence in evaluating other club members and also in participating in evaluation contests. But most importantly, hopefully what I've shared tonight can be applied in your real job, in the real world, in the real time. So if you're a teacher, next time you give feedback to your student, remember the I language, observation based. If you're a superior or an instructor, the next time you give feedback, you can also remember to use a more sympathetic tone that can encourage your staff or your people in your class, people under your care. So that's it from me. Again, let me close with a quote from Dale Carnegie. You learn speaking by speaking, and you learn evaluation by delivering evaluation. So keep practicing and making progress. Back to you.
Okay, after this we will do the certificate of appreciation. Will you lead Toastmaster Rizky?
Okay, I already share. So yes, you already got countless certificates, but this is from us to appreciate your insight. And thank you very much, DTM Natalie Cahyadi and Bhinneka Toastmaster Club friends for collaborating with us. So now, please someone take a picture. Who wants? Am I the president?
Yeah, sure. Let me take the picture. All
Okay, let's go.
right. 1, 2, 3. Wait, hold on. Okay, got it.
Okay, back to you, Toastmaster meeting. Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Natalie.
Thank
Okay,
you, guys.
so next I will be concluding the meeting today. So I'm using a cheat. So, okay, thank you for Natalie Cahyadi for the detailed and structured workshop of Speak to Win. We learned a lot today, and I would really love to rewatch this whole meeting again so I will not miss a thing. And I would like to thank everybody for joining the session today. And today's session is like collaboration from two clubs. So there is Club Bhinneka and also club from Jakarta Toastmaster Club. That's my club. So applause everybody for the for the speakers. We haven't done that because it's online, so I forget. So yeah, thank you so much. I personally learned so much from today, and I want to be a better speaker, so I will not hurt other people's feelings anymore when I'm trying to give them some tips. So I will be a better evaluator and lecturer. So yeah, I do hope the same thing that we all can practice not only for the competition, which everybody, if you want to join, we encourage you to join. I also want to join. And yeah, I agree that I will use this for my personal life, career, and everything else. And I also see a very weird thing, a very cute, actually, silver lining that both speech have a deeper meaning. So from speaker Esther said there is a secret ingredient, which is confident. And from the second speaker, Toastmaster Dia said competition is an opportunity to grow myself, to help other grow. So thank you so much for the very beautiful speech. That is also, I think when you're saying like evaluation as a gift, I think like speak with intention is and sharing is also a gift. And thank you so much for the speaker for giving your gift for us and your sharing. And thank you so much also for the golden lining that I will always try to remember in my life is to be evaluated as a gift. So I will have good intention and I will try to give the good intention with good delivery. So that is all that I learned today. And I hope you guys have fun. Did you guys have fun? Please respond to me. Okay. Yeah, that is all, and I will give it to my president, Elisa Ekaputri. The time and space is yours.
All right, thank you so much, our Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Erlin. Thank you so much for our speaker, our Edu speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Natalie. It's always such a pleasure to learn from you, and I feel like I had such a great honor to see with my own eyes your speech in Bandung this year. It was really great to be able to hear your tips and tricks, specifically for this collaboration meeting. Thank you so much for all the role takers, and especially thank you so much for our members from Jakarta Toastmasters Club, members of Bhinneka Online Toastmasters Club, as well as our visiting Toastmaster members, our distinguished guests, and everyone who has participated in this meeting. Thank you so much. We hope to see you all again next time, and we're going to have a lot of wonderful sessions in our upcoming meetings. And so we hope to see you all again. And with that, I announce this meeting adjourned. Thank you so much. Good morning. Have a good rest and see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.